Alright guys, I got my YEET 18 in the mail the other day. I got a challenge that I could not read the story without laughing. If I laugh, I have to pay for it. If I do not laugh, then I can have it for free. So sit back, relax, and let Pappy read you a story about old guys who like comics. 11:42 p.m. The streets are quiet in Centerville tonight. Cat-hoed blue lights flicker against the drawn shades. Used car commercials and The Tonight Show mutely presiding over America's love-making hour. But all is not well in the home of Ted and Mary Jones. Why do you have to keep them under the bed? I just always have, I guess. But it's strange, Ted. They're just old comics. Strange? Oh, Ted, why do you still need them? You have me now. Mary, please. Why can't you see that collecting old comics is weird? You're an adult, Ted. It's time to grow up. Grow up, Mary? I am grown up, and I just like to read. Then buy a Playboy magazine like other men. Can't do it. You guys have already won. Honestly, none of my girlfriend's husbands can read, and they do just fine. Sob. Ted struggles to understand. Mary, you knew I collected old comics when you married me. Why are you doing this now? Back then, you had one crate of comics. Now the house is full of them. Sounds very familiar. The kids are sleeping in long boxes, Dad. Your comic obsession has penetrated every part of our lives. The house reeks of my love. My son's first word was Forbish, damn it! And with that, it's over. Mary falls asleep to the sound of Ted quietly singing the Merry Marvel Marching Society songs. Morning comes at last, but the tension of the night before remains. Kirby created Spider-Man. Is that true, Ma? How in the hell would I know? Hourling. His breakfast aside, Ted Jones suddenly explodes. Jesus H. Christ, it was ditto. Steve effing ditto. But hell had no fury. Why, Ted T. Jones, I will not have that sort of language at my breakfast table. So what would you prefer, Chinese? Chinese letters that I can't read. Happy? Don't you dare speak that Moon Man language in front of the kids. He's a red. But Ted is no red. Instead, he's just an old guy who likes comics. That's not so wrong, is it? Ted, this whole marriage thing isn't working out. I think that we should... Sally, you're choking Mommy. So goes breakfast in the little town of Centerville, USA. But Ted's tale has just begun. It's for the best, Ted. I'll keep the house and everything. Okay? See if I care. Ted Jones has learned that life of an old guy who likes comics can be a lonely one. His mind wanders until... Must I double bag? Oh, not again, Ted. One amputation later. Okay, see the story here, son. Deranged by syphilis. Hepped up on them goofballs. Oh, geez, no, it's nothing like that, Doc. It's my wife. I see. So you want I should cut our brake cables? Nah, but thanks for offering. I just want Mary to understand me is all. Ted makes his confession. Well, I'm into old comics, but lately things have gotten out of hand, you see. I need my comic books in the room with me to, perform my husbandly duties. Is that odd? Ha! You bet your ass it is. Well, hell, I kind of thought it might be. Am I going to jail? No, we could only be so lucky. Ted, why old comic books? Well, the art, the stories. I like the way they smell. Ted, what if I told you you're not alone? That there's an entire group of people who feel just the same way as you. Well, that sounds great, Doc. Excellent. But first, we have to deal with that wife of yours. And here's how we're gonna do it. 3 drinks later. Mary, you're still here. Well, of course I'm still here. You took the car, asshat. Asshat. Ted tells Mary about the old guy's plan for their lives. Ted, that's my head. Oh, shut up, you beautiful fool. After all of our problems are solved. The next day, an uneasy Mary Jones heads downtown to report to her local OGWLC office. Woohoo, cool hat, man. Thanks. The staff seemed helpful and normal. My husband Rugert collects Negro romance comics. I thought it was weird at first, but hey, it keeps him off the streets. Now I can go shoe shopping to my heart's content. Huh? Mary met a woman named Bunty. It may come as a surprise to you, but old guys like old comics. They satisfy a man in a way other things simply can't. It's both healthy and normal, not to mention highly patriotic. She quickly set her straight. But shouldn't I be enough? Why does he need old comics? Listen to yourself. You're lucky that man hasn't dumped you for a gal who understands him. My wife needs to meet these people. Oh, Ted would never do that. He loves me. That's not the point. He's with you now. But what about tomorrow? There are plenty of fish in the dollar box, so to speak. Bunty explained that Mary was lucky to have Ted. He could be out whoring. But I can't make him keep his dirty old comics in the garage. You shut your filthy mouth. In 40 years, those dirty old comics will be worth more than your house and car combined. Jesus, what does he see in you? And while it took some doing, Mary Jones eventually saw the light. She understood at last that old guys like comics. And you'd be amazed at how much free time you'll have. Why, Mike's at home with his comics. I'm smoking reefers and making time with jazz musicians. It's a gas. Well, gosh, I do like to smoke reefers. One short week later, things are looking different in the Jones household. Life sure has been great since the old guy set us straight. Life has never been better, except you losing your hand and all. Don't worry, Mary. Workman's comp will take care of that. I'm just glad you accept my collecting now. Oh, Ted, I'm much more interested now. Maybe later you can show me your giant-sized man thing. Yep, things are going to be all right. I love you, Daddy. Watch the stump. Maybe we can get you a hook like Aquaman had. Ladies, take the word of one who knows. knows old guys like old comics. The sooner you accept that fact, the better. Quit fighting it and join in the fun. You might just like it. Boom shakalaka. It's quite obvious I will be sending you guys $5 later today. Thanks for the good laugh. I needed it.